Hey everybody, it's Greg Rice. We're here at Engel and Völkers in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. We're on Main Street and we're with Mr. Andrew Hogan, who you probably remember from a couple years ago. Andrew, nice to see you, brother.
Great. Good to see you, man. Thanks for having me back on.
Andrew is the first repeat guest on the show, so we want to give him a round of applause for that. And Andrew, you were with the former company, and now you're with Engel and Völkers.
That's correct, yeah.
How did that happen?
So, back 2 years ago when you and I had first kind of connected, you introduced me to Emilio.
Yep.
And, he and I always kind of just kept in touch sporadically, touch base with each other to see how things were going. I obviously had a ton of respect for him, a ton of respect for you, and I know how closely you guys work together. So that meant a lot to me. And then in February, March of this past year, some things changed at Next Home where I was prior. And I just felt, given the state of the market, that it was probably time for me to make a change and, do what I felt was necessary for me to take the next steps in my career. And I thought, really nobody better to do so than Engel and Völkers and with the team, with the Dispiritor team.
Yeah. And how did Emilio bridge that conversation? Because he doesn't let just anybody join his team. He's very protective of his team because it's his baby. So how did you get that bridge, if you will?
So the initial conversation was about me coming on just as a solo agent, but I actually expressed my interest in joining his team. I came from a team structure at Next Home that I was on, that I had started, and I enjoy the team aspect of it. I enjoy the camaraderie that comes along with the team. I enjoy the workplace relationships. I like helping the other members of my team. I always enjoy working other agents' open houses. I love the exposure that comes along with that. And I just like the fact that, we're all trying to accomplish, the same thing on the team, rather than just always feeling like you're
on an island.
By yourself, and I like...
on Rhode Island.
And I like the fact that, I can... Not that the solo agents can't either, but I like the fact that at any given time, Emilio and Joe are a text away. Any of the other agents I can bounce things off of. I've been working pretty closely with Emilio lately. He and I, we've taken listing appointments together. So I do feel like getting that, that first person hands-on training has helped me take my business to the next level.
And how would you say, or how would you answer the question, did joining Engel and Völkers elevate you in the listings that you're now eligible for, or people are willing to consider you for?
Yeah, I would say absolutely they are. When the first couple of years I was doing this, I was chasing after my buyers. I was chasing to secure homes for my buyers. I was really just banging my head against the wall, trying to get offers accepted, and trying to set up showings. Someone sees something, and the next day it's gone. That's the state of where we're at now. But since coming to E&V and since joining the team, just in the last 2 months alone, I've taken on 8 listings. Just
effortlessly.
I wouldn't say.
You put in the work, but it's just they're coming.
They're reaching out to me now.
Gotcha.
And the difference. I think I had 8 listings combined in the last 2 years. And that's just what's going on in the last 2 months here. It's not to say I don't still love working with my buyers. I love getting my first-time home buyers into homes. That's a very rewarding feeling. But just the different playing field that we're on here, and when people see who you're associated with, they see our branding, they see our marketing. It really is. It's next level.
100%. So you went from Next Home to Next Level.
Next Home to Next Level. That's not. I love my career at Next Home. I really appreciate where I started. Absolutely, I learned a lot there. I learned a lot that I liked. I learned a lot that I didn't like. I worked with really great people there, and I appreciate all of my time there. And I still have a really great relationship with them, which
beautiful,
super important to me.
And how about Dave's Market? Yeah. What is your connection to Dave's Market, or what was your connection?
So my connection to I have a lot of family that's really heavily involved in Dave's Market. It's very important to me. Dave's Market taught me how to work.
And what did you do there for the folks at home?
So when I was 15, 16, I started pushing carriages at Dave's Market in East Greenwich. I did that, and I was a cashier until I was about 17, 18, and then I worked in produce, but then mostly I helped in the kitchens at Dave's Marketplace.
Gotcha.
And that, working in a kitchen atmosphere, I feel like everybody should have to work in restaurants or some sort of service industry at some point in their youth to try and teach them, critical thinking and problem solving, discipline and how to have thick skin, because that's one of the biggest things that I feel has helped me in here is that, you know, you take the emotion out of things and you just focus on the task at hand. So I'm working on an affinity program for Dave's Market right now, which an entire curriculum on first time home buying, you know, what to do after you're in the home. I'm working on that right now. But in addition to that, if you're a Dave's employee or if you're a former Dave's employee, someone that I worked with, you'll get a $500 inspection credit.
Ooh.
And one of the lenders I'm working with is also going to kick in a $500 appraisal credit.
1K, boom.
Right off the top, just for working with us, you know, just for being a former Dave's employer. And you know, I mean, if you're a Dave's employee, your girlfriend wants to do it, you know, stuff like that. We're certainly flexible about that, but it's a big thing for me to give back to people who, you know, work at Dave's, because that's, you know, I'm proud of Dave's. I'm proud of my family who is involved at Dave's.
Yep.
You know, I'm proud of where it's taken me. So.
And you could have stayed there.
Yeah, I could have stayed there. Absolutely. Yeah.
And just coasted into the sunset.
Yeah, sure. There was. I'm sure there always was going to be a job for me there. But you know, I wanted to do my own thing, and I really love what I do here. This has been a great few years for me. It's been a challenge here and there. You know, as is anything that's worth having.
Yep. And what would you say to Emilio and Joe? What are they doing for you? How do they help you? What is the advantage to Emilio and Joe?
Emilio and Joe, the thing I love most about them, there's zero judgment there. You know, they've been through, and the thing I love about them too, they're still doing it.
Right.
You know, they're in it every day. They're involved. They're still going to listing appointments. You know, they're taking on new clients at all times. And one of the things that I love the most about E&V is that every Friday we have a mastermind session. We have, you know, it's almost like a class that, you know, it's just provided by two of our leaders who are in it every day, and also Michelle. Michelle kicks in too.
Yep, Michelle Snoren, hello to Michelle.
Just the resources that we have here, and I think the thing that's taken my business to the next level more than anything, every week our sales numbers come out. And the first month I was here, I wasn't on that text one time, you know, that email, I should say. Yeah, I didn't see my numbers in there at all. And I am competitive. I'm very motivated to be successful and to be at the top of that list every week. And I'm proud to say I'm seeing my name on there just about every week now. And I don't ever want to see myself not on that list, you know. So I want to thank Joe and Emilio. They took a shot on me, you know, as much as I did fine my first couple of years. I got through, I made it. You know, I never wanted to get complacent. I never wanted to get comfy. And I figured if we're going to be in a market right now where transactions are maybe a little bit down, I wanted to be in the place where I could hone and sharpen my skills to the best of my ability, so that, you know, once we're out of this, I'm ready to go.
Ready to rock.
Exactly.
My favorite three things, and I'm not going to hijack the conversation, but I just want to make this point about Joe and Emilio. Number one is they're not billboard brokers. So it's not like you just see their face like many other brokers, and they're just riding high on some pony somewhere, never in the office, never pounding the pavement, never taking on listings, dealing with clients, doing masterminds. They're actively involved as almost like every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is unheard of once you reach a certain level in this business. The second thing is their age. They're both very youthful. They're in their high 30s. They've been doing it since their 20s. It's not like they're 67 years old, which is no disrespect to that age group, but that's when you're starting to think about retirement, passing on the business, maybe selling the business. Joe and Emilio are in the climax of their career and only climbing further. And the final thing is, Emilio and Joe have totally different personalities.
Big time.
Emilio is a total people person, extrovert, in the weeds with you rolling up his sleeves. Joe is also rolling up his sleeves, but in the back of house. He's specializing systems, procedures, website, marketing. He's taking care of that, which is, I love Emilio, but that's not his strong suit. So you almost have two people.
Perfect balance,
pushing, and that is unheard of.
Yeah, it's made my transition as seamless as possible. And obviously we have Mike too, our transaction coordinator.
Mike Sapone, we love Mike.
We talk about how we should wake up every morning and, you know, write down the 3 things that we're grateful for. Mike is number one every single day.
Mom
you know?
and Mike.
Yeah, Mike never changes. He's in there every day. He he's just opened up things for me. He's opened up my schedule for me that in ways where, you know, the amount of time that I would spend on the back of the house stuff before that was taking away from growing the business, he's there handling every second of it, and I can't speak enough to how much I appreciate that, and that's something that, you know, Joe and Emilio are able to provide for me.
Which is huge.
Right, and so I certainly don't ever take that for granted. Everybody here is just they're really sharp, they're polished, and they're hungry, so I like being surrounded by like-minded people who are all trying to, like I said earlier, try to accomplish the same goal, you know, and we've been able to get deals done together, which is great. You know, I mean, if we have clients that are looking for something that haven't been able to find something, but you know, we're all very active in the group chat. We're all active participants in the masterminds. You know, and that's where that stuff gets done. You know, we all went to lunch last week. Joe and Emilio took the whole office, everybody who was available out. And, you know, I mean, just the ideas that start flowing there. You know, that's all stuff that to me is invaluable, and you don't see it in every brokerage because. No. You know, at the end of the day, we all work for ourselves ultimately. You know, we hang our hat under Joe and Emilio here, but we all still do work for ourselves. So to find people that are equally as motivated, it's been so refreshing.
Very uncommon, right? Yeah. And how about, would you say, are you developing any type of niche?
I wouldn't say necessarily a niche. I mean, I've done really well with multis. You know, we've cleaned up for our seller leads in you know, our sphere.
And you have two multis that Nexus has referred him that he's boom taken care of, like quick work. So I just wanted to point that out.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we try. You know, we've all been tenants at some point in our lives. So trying to, you know, empathize and you know, get on the same page with tenants, I found has really helped us when it comes to selling our multis, because they, you know, we need them to cooperate with us in order to make it as smooth of a process as possible. And I got to say that we've had really good success, so I'm very proud of that. But yeah, I really like it. I love selling multis. Yeah. I love seeing, you know, the excitement on the next person who's going, whether it's an investor. We're seeing a ton of owner occupied right now, and as somebody who's been through that myself, I really enjoy seeing the process that goes through purchasing multis. So I think we've had really good success with that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the final thing is, before I let you go, and I asked you in the first interview, what do you want the viewers to take and know about you today?
I just want to work for you. You know, that's ultimately what it comes down to. I believe in myself, and I believe that we can help you accomplish any goal that it, whether it's buying, selling, renting, you know, investing, whatever your real estate goals are, you know, even goals just in general, I want to be a part of it, you know. And when people think of me, I don't want them to just think, oh, Andrew will help us buy or sell a house. You know, if you need contractors, if you need opinions on anything, if you need surveys, you know, if you need anything, what we pride ourselves on, you know, at E&B, and especially on the Despirito team, we want to be your one-stop shop for everything. You know, so if you guys need anything at all, I certainly want to be the one that you call.
That's very Rhode Island of Andrew. He's essentially saying, I got a guy. And there's nothing more Rhode Island than, hey, I got a guy.
Right. You need
or a girl, or they, or them, I got an us, whatever you want to say.
Whatever you need.
He's got it.
Exactly. Right.
So how do folks get in touch with you?
So the best way to get in touch with me, you can reach me on my cell, 401-588-2002.
And email, you want to throw that up?
Yeah, if you want to get me an email, if that's easier for you, you can reach me at andrew.hogan@evrealestate.com. Those are the two best ways to get a hold of me.
I'm glad you guys don't put Engel and Völkers.com in the email, because I'm like, I've seen it so many times. I'm like ENGEL, ENGLE, and then the dots over the
two dots
circle.
over the O, yeah.
What is that?
Right,
The Motley Crew has what's the word
I don't know
for
the
that?
word for that actually. I probably should
Look that up. But E&V, I've been a supporter since day one. I've been with Emilio and Co. even when they're at HomeSmart. And I said to them, you guys need to run your own show. And they were like, well, you know, we might open our own thing and create our own luxury brand. And I said, don't do that. I said, you got to pick somebody that's already in the game. And E&V was in the game in Rhode Island a long time ago, maybe 08, 09 on the east side, and they failed. So I said, this is an opportunity for you to polish up that brand and bring it back to Rhode Island. Yeah. And you guys are knocking it out of the park. So great job, Andrew.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate having me on again.
Thank you, brother. And if you have any questions for me or Andrew, put them in the field below. We'll get right back to you. Once again, Greg Rice and Andrew Hogan here on Main Street in East Greenwich.